So hello students, now if I talk about the January session, more than half of the exam is over. So now the 22nd shift, 23rd, 24th, both morning and evening is over. We have already only 2 days left, that's on 28th and 29th. So now that certain shifts are over and we are getting a lot of input from our students, because whatever inputs we are getting right now is memory based. NTA have not yet released any questions, the transcript or anything. So based on that, due to more inputs, now we have a better idea and we can do a better analysis of marks versus percentile. We'll also talk about what will be the cutoff this time. So this time things are going to change a lot. We'll talk about the difficulty level of the paper. So we will do all that comparison here. We'll do comparison for the previous years and we'll come to a very clear idea. Now students, this is very important, not just for the students, also for the parents, because now it's very important that based on whatever we are expecting, how to plan further. Many students are asking the question, sir, what to do now? Shall we prepare for JEE Mains second session or JEE Advanced or boards? So today we are going to talk about all of that. So let's first dive into the sessions this time. So now 22nd, both morning evening are over, same with 23rd and 24th. We are still left with 28th and 29th. So if you do an analysis of that, so on 22nd morning, I'll say physics came easy to moderate. Chemistry was also easy to moderate. Maths was moderate but lengthy. So that has been the pattern for maths for now past few years, that maths is coming lengthy, but sometimes the questions are like not that difficult to do, just more calculation, but sometimes they are also very difficult to do as well. If I talk about the 22nd evening session, physics came easy to moderate, chemistry came easy, and maths again we saw a difficult lengthy paper. So in fact, if we compare it with the last year January session, I'm not counting the 27th morning because that was an exception, that was very easy paper. But if I compare with others, so I'll say that chemistry and maths is kind of following the same pattern. Maybe physics, 2-3 questions came somewhat difficult. Now another change that have happened this year is that in numerical section options have gone out. So all the 5 questions are compulsory. So with that we are expecting that little bit marks will go down, like for the same percentile will come for slightly less marks. So we are going to talk about all that in detail. So if I talk about 23rd, now this came slightly tougher than 22nd. So in the morning session, physics again came easy to moderate, chemistry easy to moderate, maths was moderate but then again lengthy. So maths is always lengthy. So maybe we'll just talk about the difficulty. And then 23rd evening, so I'll say that till now whatever paper have happened, 23rd evening was the most difficult one. So physics came moderate, chemistry again easy to moderate, and maths was difficult and lengthy. Now 24th morning, physics again came easy to moderate, chemistry easy, maths difficult and lengthy. And on 24th evening, physics moderate, chemistry easy, and maths was moderately lengthy paper. So again, it's following the same pattern as we were expecting. In fact, we have been telling our students that that is what going to happen, and we can see all our prediction in fact happening like that. In fact, I can say this is what is happening for past few years. Now these sessions are still left, that is 28th and 29th. So it is not like slight change might happen due to them, like based on percentile cutoff. But again, more or less they will follow the same pattern. Now last time what happened is, the sessions towards the end in January, there were less students writing it. But this time we are expecting an even distribution. Like last year, the student writing in the early session, that on 27th and 29th there were more students. But those writing on 30th or 1st, there were less number of students. But this time the number of enrollments have gone up. So now the question is, which we are getting from many students, that sir, what will be the cutoff? What shall I do? How shall I prepare further? So it's very important that we analyze it properly. Only then we can come to a proper conclusion. So now let's go to a very important data point. Now students, so if you notice that in 2022, number of students who wrote JEE were 9.05 lakhs. So these numbers are in lakhs on the first row, what you can see. In 2023, number of students who wrote JEE Mains were 11.13 lakh. 2024, 14.15 lakh student wrote, in which the first session, that is January session, 12.2 student. In 2025, 13.8 lakh students are there in the first session. So this is only for the first session, because second session the registration will be open after a few time, and only then we'll get to know a proper number. So this is like based on what is the pattern, what is the trend till now. Now following the trend, if I say that in 2024 total in the first session 12.2 lakh people registered, but overall 14.15 unique students were there. If we assume that same number of students goes up, let us say after April session 2 lakh more students are there, unique students. So we will end up with a number around 15.8 lakh. So a rough estimation will be that after January session and April session together, number of student writing will be 15.8 lakh student. Now, because the number of students are going up year by year, and the thing is in JEE Advanced, like what NTA does is the number of students writing JEE Advanced is not changing. So every year it is fixed at 2.5 lakh. Now there will be certain categories based on that. We are not going into that. We are talking about overall. So overall it was 2.5 lakh. So now what we are expecting that the cutoff percentile will change this year. In fact, that is one of the reasons that we are having this video, because it's very, very important to analyze that so that we can plan properly ahead. Now another thing, student, is that you will not get to know about the cutoff till the April result, because only after the April result everything combined, like what happened in January plus April, we will get to know the final results. So cutoff will only come out at that point of time. But if we analyze it properly now, we can be ready with our action plan. So at Prepally we tell to every student that there is no panic if you have a proper action plan. So it's important that what is our action plan now. So if you see, because number of seats is not going up for JEE Advanced, only 2.5 lakh students are writing, but number of students are getting more and more. So in 2022 the cutoff in general category was 88.4 percentile. In 2023 that went up to 90.8, because number of students who are writing getting more, but like more students are writing JEE Mains, but 2.5 lakh, only that many will write JEE Advanced. In 2024, because significant jump was there in the number of students, the cutoff percentile for general category went to 93.2. Similarly, you will see an upward trend in OBC NCL. We have not taken all the categories. So in OBC NCL, if I talk about, the cutoff in 2022 was 67 percentile, 2023 was 73.6, 2024 was 79.7. Now what will happen this year? So as we were expecting that if we assume after April session 2 lakh more unique students will enroll. So if this number is 15.8, then what will be the cutoff? So we are expecting that the cutoff this year will go around 94 percentile for the general category. Now I'll come to that number. So if we see for all these years, the number of students getting selected are same. Like here, if I talk about in 2022, so we have 11.6% students. So total were 9.05. So you can multiply and check. Similarly, on this year it was 9.2. This year it was 6.8% of students who are going to write JEE Advanced. So because number is same, total number of students are going up. So percentile or the percentage of students going to write JEE Advanced will reduce. So now the important thing is what to do. So okay, by the way, these are our results last year. So last year our student in Sri Ram, he got 100 percentile. Sumat got 99.93 percentile. Lakshya, she was also the Coimbatore district girl topper, 99.92 percentile. Sarvesh 99.64 and Kartharishi 99.42. So by the way, all of these students have increased their percentile in the April session. They adopted proper strategies after the first session, and then they worked upon it and improvised. So yeah, coming back to the question that what should be the student's plan? So for that, again, we have taken the data for the last 2 years to assess that what kind of mark will give us what kind of percentile, because as we have arrived to this point for 94 percentile. So for general category, 94 percentile might be cut off. So let us see what have happened for the previous few sessions. So these are marks for 95 percentile. So so over the years, we have taken the data of our student and other sources. So if I talk about in January 2023, so 95 percentile for the 24th January session in the morning came for 101 marks, in the afternoon 103 marks. Similarly, 95 percentile in January 2023 in the morning came for on 25th Jan, on morning for 110 marks, in the afternoon 120 marks. Similarly, you will see these numbers. So the first one represents the morning session, second one the evening session. So these are the overall marks for the last 2 years. So January 2023, April 2023, January 2024 and April 2024 for JEE Mains. Now students, you will notice that in 2023 January, 95 percentile came for the least mark on 24 January session. That is 101 marks and 103 marks. And 90 percentile went maximum on the 1st February. That is 125 marks and 135 marks. Similarly, if we talk about on the January 2024, the 27 Jan, especially the morning paper. So last year the morning paper of 27 Jan was a very easy paper. So maybe to calculate the average, we might neglect that. So 27 Jan, the 95 percentile came for 175 marks. It was a very easy paper. I'll say exception among the JEE Mains paper for last 4 years. Afternoon 150 marks, and the least went for 31st Jan 115 and 105 marks for 95 percentile. So as I told earlier also, last year in last 2 sessions number of students were writing less, but this year we are expecting an even distribution. Again, NTA will publish that data later on. So based on this data, so this data is for 95 percentile, and our expectation is that cutoff will go around 94 percentile. So based on this data, as well as based on what difficulty level of the paper was, then we will now come up with a tentative number for cutoff, also for how much marks will get different percentiles. So as I told, it's very important to strategize now, because results will come soon, but they will not talk about cutoff. So generally I say this to everyone that 98, like if a student getting 99 percentile, they are very safe, they'll get best NITs. Till 98 percentile, they'll get some NIT. So those who are getting less than 98, maybe I should say they better focus on the next JEE April session. Those getting above 98, maybe they can start focusing more on JEE Advanced immediately. So, okay. So by the way, last year we have a student Sanjay. So in the first session he got 94.7 percentile and it went up to 98.3. Lakshya in first session got 99.3, in the second session 99.92, and Sriram got 100 percentile in second session, not in the first second. So students, the thing is whatever happened, happened. So the idea is you should try your best in January session. If it went good, very good. Otherwise you still have one more chance. We have seen tremendous growth in the percentile. Like they are just some of them. In fact, last year, we had one student in the first session in January, he got only 80 percentile and it went up to 98 in the second. So you still have time. How to prepare in this time, that's very important. So by the way, very important news for all of you. So from 30th Jan, we at Prepally are going to start our special revision program. So we'll have 2 revision programs, one for JEE Advanced revision. As I told, those who are getting above 98 percentile, I'll suggest them they can start preparing for JEE Advanced, because NIT seat is pakka if you are getting above 98 percentile. And for those maybe who feel that you are getting less than 98 percentile, we also have board and JEE Mains revision, because again we first need to ensure that we get a pakka seat in the NITs. So as I've told you, this time is very crucial. If students focus properly, nothing to worry, we can still crack JEE Mains with a very good result. And it has happened earlier, previously. So by the way, if any one of you want to improvise for the second session, so you can contact us on this email or call it as this phone number and can join this crash course for the revision program. In fact, as I've told, tremendous improvement. We have seen students improve their marks by 40-50% as well. In fact, those students who have got above 99 percentile and want to take up their JEE Advanced preparation to next level, we will also offer them free JEE Advanced revision program. Okay, so now coming to the numbers. So as we said earlier that because number of students are going up and assuming we will have 2 lakh more unique students in April session. So general cutoff might go to 94 percentile and OBC NCL cutoff might go to 82 percentile. So we can see that due to number of students writing JEE Mains going up, the percentile, the cutoff will go up this time. So now the important question is that, in fact, many students are asking, sir, I am getting 120 marks, 150 marks, what shall I do? Because there are still 2 weeks for results, so what should be my plan? So that is why this is the data that we have come up with. So as we have talked about earlier that what happened in physics, chemistry, maths for the 6 papers that have happened till now. So if I talk about overall, I'll say that January 22nd morning paper was moderate. Evening is also fall under moderate. 23rd morning is difficult. I'll say 23rd evening we felt to be the most difficult. And then 24th morning will be moderate and 24th evening will be difficult. So the expected cutoff, as we said, it might go around 94 percentile. So we are expecting in the January 22nd morning for 120 marks. January 22nd evening for 115. For January 23rd morning 110, 105 for the evening, 24th morning 115 and January 24th evening for 110. So if you see the overall average over here is somewhat less than the last year January session. So there are 2 reasons, because physics came somewhat difficult, 2-3 extra difficult question, and in numerical the options are not there anymore. So all 5 questions are compulsory. So we are expecting that on an average, some reduction will be there in 95 percentile and the cutoff will be 94 percentile. So few marks difference will be there between 94 and 95. So this is for 94. Now how to plan? Like how much I can expect? So again we are getting questions, students are asking, sir, what to do? Now what should I focus on? So this is a estimation that we have come up with, that first I'll talk about 99.9 percentile. So any student who's getting around this much, you should focus now only on JEE Advanced. That should be your number 1 priority. So we are expecting that 99.9 percentile will come around marks of 260 for the 22nd morning, 257 for the 22nd evening, 23rd morning for 255, 245 for January 23rd evening. So this paper, from the student response, we are getting that is one of the most difficult one till now. For 24th morning for 257, 24th evening for 255. So 99.9 percentile means a rank of, we can roughly approximate maybe 1500. Again, the rank will not come now, it will only come after the April session. Only then we will get to know total number of unique students who have applied for JEE Mains. So for 99.5 means that will happen for 230 marks in the 22nd morning, 22nd evening for 225, 23rd morning for 222, 23rd evening for 215, 225 for 24th morning and 222 for 24th evening. Now 99.5 is a very important benchmark, because this will ensure that you can get best seat in top NITs, especially those students who are from like the own state. For example, Tamil Nadu students is NIT Tirchi. So because of the home state quota, we can ensure that those who are writing from Tamil Nadu, they will pakka get NIT Tirchi, one of the top courses. Now coming to 99 percentile, that will happen for 195 marks for the 22nd morning, 195 for 22nd evening, 187 for 23rd morning, 180 for 23rd evening, then 190 for 24th morning and 187 for 24th evening. Now 99 is also a very important benchmark because this will ensure that you will get a good NIT. Seat is pakka. 98 is the point which is very important because based on this, student can decide whether to focus on JEE Advanced or JEE Mains. So we are expecting 175 marks in 22nd morning, 117 22nd evening, 167 for 23rd morning, 23rd evening 160, 24th morning 170 and 167 for 24th evening. So any student who is getting more than these marks, they should focus on JEE Advanced because this will ensure you are getting pakka NIT. Others, I'll say that there's still a lot of time. Make best use of it. Learn what were your weakness and work upon that so that in April session, again, we have seen previously also, you can tremendously improve your percentile. Now coming to the cutoff for 94, as we have assuming that the cutoff might go around 94 percentile this time. So it will be for 120 marks as we have talked about earlier also, 115, 110, 105, 115 and 110 marks. So dear students and parents, so I think this gives you a much better clarity now that how to prepare from now, what to focus on and what not to. Because there are a lot of things, there are too much content, too much information. Only those who do it right thing. So it's about smart work, utilize your time well, and this time in JEE Mains, we have to crack with a very good percentile. So all the best to all of you and thank you everyone.